Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a list that covers more ground than almost any we have done before. 10 watches that span the full spectrum of what this hobby encompasses. From the ocean floor to the summit of the Alps, from Swiss precision engineering to Japanese satellite-synced timekeeping. From a $20 Swatch movement that rewrote manufacturing history to one of the most enduring watch designs ever placed on a human wrist. What every watch on today's list has in common is this. Each one defines something. Each one looks at a category, a problem, or an idea and solves it so completely that competitors have spent years trying to catch up. These are the watches that set the standard. Let's get into it. Number 10, Tudor Pelagos. The Tudor Pelagos arrived in 2012 and immediately served notice that Tudor was no longer content to play the role of Rolex's affordable sibling. It was capable of producing something genuinely world-class on its own terms. The Pelagos was one of the first production dive watches to combine a titanium case with an in-house automatic movement, and the combination it delivers is remarkable. A professional dive watch rated to 500 meters with a helium escape valve, a self-winding movement with a 70-hour power reserve, and a total wrist weight so light it borders on the surreal for a watch this technically serious. The titanium bracelet with its diver's extension system is one of the most comfortable metal bracelets ever fitted to a dive watch, and the luminescent blue or black dial reads with the instant clarity that 500 meters of operational depth demands. What the Pelagos does best, however, is make you feel that you have bought something genuinely special, a watch engineered without shortcuts for people who take diving and watchmaking with equal seriousness. The Tudor Pelagos retails for approximately $3,925 to $4,500 USD, depending on reference. Number 9. Citizen Satellite Wave. The Citizen Satellite Wave is the watch that most people outside of Japan have never properly investigated. And that is a mistake, because what it does is nothing short of extraordinary. Rather than synchronizing with ground-based radio towers the way atomic radio-controlled watches do, the Satellite Wave connects directly to GPS satellites orbiting the Earth and adjusts its time automatically to within 1 second accuracy, regardless of where on the planet's surface you happen to be standing. No time zone adjustment, no manual correction after a long flight, no signal dead zones caused by geography. Just silent, automatic, satellite-sourced precision every single time. The entire process takes approximately 3 seconds from wrist activation. The watch is powered by Citizen's EcoDrive light charging technology, meaning the combination of solar power input and satellite time correction produces a watch that is effectively self-managing in every meaningful sense. The case design is bold and technical without being aggressive, and the overall package represents a level of practical engineering that most Swiss manufacturers at twice the price cannot approach. The Citizen Satellite Wave retails for approximately $650 to $200 USD, depending on reference. Number 8. Swatch System 51. The Swatch System 51 is one of the most genuinely revolutionary watches produced in the last 30 years. And the fact that it costs under $100 makes that statement more remarkable, not less. When Swatch introduced the System 51 in 2013, it did something the Swiss watch industry had not attempted since Swatch reinvented affordable quartz in the 1980s. It rethought what a mechanical watch movement could be at a fundamental manufacturing level. The System 51 caliber contains exactly 51 components, compared to the 130 or more found in a typical automatic, and is assembled entirely by robotic automation with zero human intervention, sealed at the factory and never intended to be serviced in the traditional sense. The result is an automatic movement that keeps respectable time, offers a 90-hour power reserve, and can be worn on the wrist for a price that most Swiss manufacturers charge for a single spring. The colorful, transparent case designs let you watch the movement running in real time. The System 51 is proof that genuine horological innovation does not require 5 figures and a Geneva hallmark. The Swatch System 51 retails for approximately $75 to $100 USD. Number 7. Bulova Precisionist. The Bulova Precisionist carries a name it has fully earned because the technology at its core delivers a timekeeping performance that leaves virtually every other quartz watch on the market standing still. Most quartz movements vibrate at 32,768 Hz, a frequency that produces a characteristic tick-tock seconds hand movement and an accuracy of around plus or minus 15 seconds per month. The Bulova Precisionist caliber operates at 262,144 Hz, 8 times faster, producing a seconds hand that sweeps with a fluidity indistinguishable from a mechanical watch and an accuracy of plus or minus 10 seconds per year. That is not a misprint. 10 seconds per year from a non-atomic, non-GPS quartz movement represents a technical achievement that most consumers never know exists, and most Swiss brands have never seriously attempted at a comparable price. The Precisionist models wrap this remarkable caliber in bold, sporty case designs with chronograph functionality that benefits from the high-frequency movement's split-second precision. This is a watch for the person who wants performance above all else and is smart enough to look past the logo. The Bulova Precisionist retails for approximately $350–500 USD, depending on reference. Number 6. Maurice Lacroix Pontos. The Maurice Lacroix Pontos is the watch that the Swiss mid-range does not always manage to produce. Something that looks and wears like it belongs in a higher conversation without demanding the price tag that conversation usually requires. Maurice Lacroix is a brand that punches consistently above its weight, and the Pontos collection is the clearest expression of that ambition. The case finishing on the Pontos is genuinely exceptional for its price bracket, with alternating brushed and polished surfaces executed with the kind of consistency that reveals real attention at the production level. The dial architecture is elegant and considered, and the integrated bracelet on certain references flows from the case with a naturalness that more expensive competitors occasionally fail to achieve. The automatic movements inside are reliable Swiss workhorses delivering solid power reserves and accurate timekeeping. What the Pontos ultimately offers is the feeling of wearing a serious Swiss watch. Not an approximation of one, not a look-alike, but the genuine article, without the waiting lists, the premiums, and the theater that increasingly surrounds the brands above it. The Maurice Lacroix Pontos retails for approximately $1,500–2,500 USD, depending on reference. Number 5. Rado Captain Cook. The Rado Captain Cook is a watch that spent decades as a cult secret among vintage collectors before Rado's brilliant decision to reissue it brought it to the attention of an entirely new generation, and the response confirmed what those collectors had always known. Originally introduced in 1962 as one of Rado's early dive watches, the Captain Cook had a distinctive character built around its rounded case, its textured dial, and the warmth of its proportions that felt entirely different from the angular sports watches dominating the era. The modern reissue honors those proportions faithfully while updating the specification: sapphire crystal, improved water resistance, reliable automatic movement, and the result is a watch with an authentic vintage soul in a package that wears beautifully every single day. Rado's mastery of high-tech ceramic materials appears across the Captain Cook family, offering case and bracelet combinations in materials that are virtually scratch-proof and carry a warmth and depth that steel cannot replicate. For the collector who wants a piece with genuine archive credentials and daily wearability in equal measure, the Captain Cook answers both demands with considerable charm. The Rado Captain Cook retails for approximately $200–2,000 USD, depending on reference. Number 4. Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Ultra Thin. The Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Ultra Thin is where one of Switzerland's most technically accomplished manufacturers turns its extraordinary caliber-making heritage toward a single, beautiful obsession: the pursuit of thinness as an expression of refinement. Jaeger-LeCoultre has been producing movements for the industry since 1833, supplying calibers to houses whose names adorn watches costing far more than this one. And in the Master Ultra Thin, that depth of manufacturing knowledge is brought to bear on a watch of genuine elegance. The case slips beneath a shirt cuff without resistance, sitting against the wrist with a flatness that mechanical watches rarely achieve. The dial is a study in restraint, applied indices, refined hands, a surface that catches light without demanding it. The in-house movements across the ultra-thin family, whether the simple three-hander or the perpetual calendar variants, are finished to a standard that reflects a house that makes movements for the best in the business and holds itself to the same standard. Wearing a Master Ultra Thin is a daily reminder that understatement, executed at the highest level, is its own form of luxury. The Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Ultra Thin retails for approximately $8,500–$14,000 USD, depending on reference. Number 3. Casio Pro Trek. The Casio Pro Trek is the watch that outdoor professionals, mountaineers, and expedition leaders have trusted for decades. And trust, in the environments where the Pro Trek is deployed, is not given lightly. Built around Casio's triple sensor technology, the Pro Trek delivers an altimeter microbarometer for weather prediction and elevation tracking, a digital compass for navigation, and a thermometer for environmental monitoring, all in a package designed to survive the conditions that render less purposeful watches inoperable. Tough solar charging means that as long as the watch sees any light at all, it keeps running, critical in mountain environments where battery replacement is not an option. The dials are dense with information, but organized with the clarity that genuine outdoor use demands, and the resin case construction absorbs shock, resists cold weather brittleness, and shrugs off the abrasion of rock, rope, and equipment contact. For the person who goes to places where watches are genuinely tested rather than merely worn, the ProTrek is not an accessory. It is a piece of navigation equipment that also happens to tell the time. The Casio ProTrek retails for approximately $200 to $350 USD depending on reference. Number 2. Bvlgari Diagono. The Bvlgari Diagono is the watch that demonstrated conclusively that Rome has as much right to a seat at the fine watchmaking table as Geneva or LeCoultre, and that Italian design sensibility applied to a sports watch produces something that no Swiss manufacturer would have designed, and nobody who sees it can quite forget. The Diagono's architecture draws from Bulgari's mastery of luxury design across jewelry, leather, and architecture, translating that vocabulary into a watch that feels athletic and refined simultaneously, a balance that sports watches from more traditional watchmaking backgrounds occasionally struggle to strike. The case geometry, the integrated bracelet lines, and the dial organization all reflect the hand of designers who think about space, proportion, and visual harmony as instinctively as Swiss engineers think about torque and frequency. Across its family, the Diagono spans from accessible automatic sport references to technically sophisticated chronograph and GMT variants, all unified by a design confidence that is unmistakably and unapologetically Italian. For the collector who wants something that stands apart from the familiar names, the Diagono rewards the attention given to it. The Bvlgari Diagono retails for approximately $4,500 to $8,000 USD, depending on reference. Number 1. Rolex Explorer. The Rolex Explorer sits at number 1 on today's list because it is, in the most literal and verifiable sense, the watch that conquered the world's highest point, and everything about it was built with that specific ambition in mind. On the 29th of May, 1953, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay stood on the summit of Everest wearing Rolex watches, and the Explorer that followed was Rolex's direct response to what that achievement demanded. A watch that could survive extreme cold, extreme altitude, extreme physical punishment, and keep perfect time through all of it without adjustment or complaint. 70 years later, the formula has been refined but never reinvented, because reinvention was never necessary. The 36mm case, expanded to 39 mm in recent production, wears with a classicism that no other sports watch quite matches. The black dial, with its 3, 6, and 9 Arabic numerals and luminous Mercedes hands, reads with instant clarity in any condition. The caliber 3230 inside delivers Rolex's characteristic robustness and precision with a 70-hour power reserve, parachrome hairspring, and chronergy escapement. But the Explorer's greatest achievement is not technical. It is the sense it imparts that you are wearing something absolutely resolved, a watch that has been everywhere, tested against everything, and emerged unchanged because it was right from the very beginning. The Rolex Explorer retails for approximately $6,550 USD at retail, with pre-owned examples trading at a premium.